Well, what a performance that was, ladies and gentlemen. It finishes at Turf Moor, Burnley 1, Newcastle United 4, and that's about as comprehensive as it gets. That is probably one of the best performances we've seen this season, given the circumstances. Because, listen, coming into this game, Burnley had just drew at Old Trafford. They'd got a lot of confidence from that game, in a game they probably should have won. And we were coming into it really not with a great away form and, of course, starting really slow in games. Now, Eddie Howe probably surprised everybody today with the formation he went with. But credit to him, because we've been banging on all season when things haven't gone our way. Maybe try changing the formation, try changing the system a little bit. And boy, did he do that today. He included Wilson. He went to 4-4-2 and it worked. There's no doubt about it. It worked. I have to say the first 10 minutes, it didn't look like it was working. But that's the kind of response you'd probably see from Burnley. They're coming out, they're confident, they want to get a good start to the game. They came out flying, and Eddie probably expected that. The players probably expected that. We were a little bit edgy getting to know the formation, but once that first 10 minutes was gone, Burnley had a couple of opportunities. We then dominated the game. We started playing our way into it very, very slowly, and then the rest is just history. Some of the football we played today was absolutely scintillating. And I don't care if people come at me and say, oh, well, it was only Burnley. That's disrespectful to Burnley, because Burnley have been playing very well lately. I think it was something like 1 defeat in 8. So they're not a simple turnover for us. This is a side battling against relegation. And we know from previous experience how difficult that is, but how much effort you put into a game to try and survive in the Premier League. We've been there. So it's disrespectful to just turn around and say, oh, it was just Burnley. We had to go there, we had to play well, and we bloody did that. And the 4-4-2 system just blew Burnley away. They couldn't live with us. When we started scoring goals, every time we went forward, it looks like we were going to score again and again and again. It was great to see Joe Linton, Miggy, and of course Nick Pope back on the bench. That will have given us a huge lift before the game, knowing that we had a really strong bench should things have not gone right during the game. But it turns out we could bring Joe Linton and Miggy on at a time where the game was won. They can get some good minutes under the belts, and Joe Linton especially, preparing him to get him fit to start against Manchester United at Old Trafford, because that is looking like a huge, huge game. Man United have to go to Palace on Monday. That's not going to be easy for them, so we'll see how that result turns out. But we can only do what we do ourselves. You know, it's up to us where we finish in the league now. We've got 3 games left. We win all those games, we will finish 6th, and we will finish above Manchester United, and another season will be in Europe next year. And that's a massive boost and a massive praise to the players and to Eddie, considering what's happened this season. You know, we've all been very critical of the manager, some of the players, but every one of them stepped up there today. And Sean Longstaff, that's the best game he's had in a very, very long time. I was worried that because we were playing a 4-4-2, that it was just going to be Bruno and Sean in midfield. I was worried that the game would just go over his head. But by God, it didn't. He scored a fabulous goal. And he got stuck in and created a lot. He was tackling. He was everywhere until he was substituted. And he deserved to be substituted, not for the wrong reasons, but for the right reasons. So he get the ovation off the Newcastle fans and a bit of a rest. Because, you know, he's been playing with an injury. He's had a hard time of it this season. But credit to him. He's absolutely worked his arse off today and had a brilliant game. Jacob Murphy, another one who hasn't been quite at it the last few games, but my God, was he at it today. Some of those crosses he put into that box were sensational. And the goal that Isak scored was down to his tenacious ability not to give up. Isak had the ball, of course, and he played it into Wilson. Wilson looked like he was going to lose the ball, but Murphy's pace got him the ball, and of course the rest is history. He went on and scored. Isak scored. It's brilliant to watch. When we play football like that, some of Bruno's little touches and a commanding midfield again. Absolutely commanding. The 2 centre-backs, Burn and Kraft, just went about their business today. Just went about the business, played really well, did what they needed to do. Nothing flashy, just good defending when we needed it. But the fullbacks, especially the first half, were just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And these two, Lewis Hall and Livramento, they're our future fullbacks for years to come, if you ask me. Without a shadow of a doubt. Lewis Hall, his fitness has improved dramatically as well. But Tino on the right, I mean, this kid is sensational, guys. What a signing he is going to be. But we have two fullbacks here who could be the future, not just for Newcastle United, but also in the international setup. They are that good. And if they keep their feet on the ground and play how Eddie wants them to play and learn from him, their futures are huge at this football club. Absolutely huge. Callum Wilson came in today, roughed those centre-backs up. I mean, listen, the referee was simply abysmal today. And not just for us. You know, I have to be honest, and there was times where Burnley should have had free kicks and didn't. And we should have had free kicks and didn't. He was terrible today. I mean, booking Elliot Anderson for running at pace with the ball just because his fingertip caught the face of a Burnley player. That is a ridiculous booking. Callum Wilson's booking for diving in the first half. He went down. He never appealed for a penalty. He just got straight back up and tried to get the ball across. Yet he books him for diving. Crazy refereeing. And I'm sure he forgot his whistle at times. So it was very difficult for Callum, who was getting pulled left, right and centre, but he never stopped. The effort was fantastic. And of course, he got a goal. Isak's penalty, for me, one of the worst he's ever hit, probably. It was a weak penalty. But then you look and you think, right, long delay for VAR, looking for encroachment. Then the player gets underway again. And then he goes and scores. His confidence just didn't disappear. His head didn't drop. He got the ball. And it was still I know it was close to goal, but he had a few Burnley players and the goalkeeper sprawling, and he just lifted it into the roof of the net. Just quality finishing today. And I'm so happy to see that, because a lot of people wrote us off before this game and thought it was going to be very, very difficult. But I think we've gone and we've done a very professional job today. And I'm absolutely over the moon with it. And I cannot wait now for the last 3 games of the season, because if we can play like this, the players that we've got coming back as well, it gives us tremendous options to have a very strong bench and a very strong starting 11 to finish the season, which we've not had for a very long time. It looks like we've come out of this game pretty unscathed with no injuries. Thank God for that. But it is so bloody exciting now. And, you've got to take your hat off to the lads today. It was just a blistering performance. The weather was shit in the second half. We didn't let that affect us. We could have gone on and scored more goals, I feel. But you know what? It was just a professional performance in the second half. We did what we had to do. Matt Ritchie will be really kicking himself for giving that corner away, which led to the goal, because we know what defenders and goalkeepers are like for keeping clean sheets. They'll have wanted one. And to be fair, should have had one, because Burnley wouldn't have got that corner had Matt Ritchie's pass not been really poor. But, come on. You can't say anything negative after a 4-1 win. It was just a bloody awesome performance. And, it was one of those games where you look at and you think, right, did anyone not really perform today? Did anyone not stand out for us? And I can't think of one of those players that didn't do a job today. What I loved was the tenacity to get the ball back. The intensity was back. When we lost the ball, there was 2 or 3 Newcastle players fighting to win it back. Lewis Hall came over the other end of the pitch twice. And once when he was knackered in the second half, and he bloody put in a brilliant challenge to win the ball. They just did not lie down. When they lost the ball today, we did not just take a huff. We went and won the ball back. And that was a massive reason that Burnley couldn't live with us today. It was just brilliant. And now what we need to see is that performance for the last 3 games. Just go out, enjoy your football and play like that, because it was bloody awesome to watch. And I can't wait for the next game now, because we are finding our feet at the right time to make sure that we finish in that 6th spot. It's in our hands. But let me know, as usual, in the comments what you thought of the game, who really stood out for you. And, of course, don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for the full review of the game with, of course, our player ratings, etc. I don't think that they are very, very difficult to do tomorrow for once. But let me know how you thought the game went. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give it the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. And, of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. Help us now as we build towards 30,000 subscribers, which is incredible. When I started this channel, never thought that would happen. But we are on the way, guys. And with your help, we can get there. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you for the review tomorrow. And, the only other thing to say is Burnley 1, Newcastle 4. Have an absolute cracking weekend, guys. See you soon.